is a reason that we're having contact here, okay? Skip, we bought a lot of houses from Skip, from a previous manufacturer who did, and we had never had a problem that I know of, you know. And if we did, it was a minor problem. So I just talked to a lady the other day that bought one from us 15 years ago, and she loves her house.
Good.
So,
Well, nice meeting you, glad you
this is Skip.
came.
He actually is from Palatka, or lives.
Oh, wow,
You
cool.
know, we won't hold that against him.
Yep.
We
yep.
thank you, Skip. We appreciate you.
Well, we appreciate y'all and glad you came, and Terry mentioned that the factory I worked for before I came here, the reason I'm here is this factory builds as good or better than where I was. So, yeah, it's a good house, good strong house. Thanks for coming. All right.
Thanks for having us.
We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
I just
I'll
wanted,
catch you later.
Thank you, Ben.
wanted to spend just a few minutes introducing myself, introducing the company, and then Dan can answer any questions, but I wanted to also let you know if Dan travels from time to time. There's plenty of people here to answer questions, so if you have a question, you can call in and talk to me, you can talk to any of the sales assistants, you can talk to the CEO. Everybody's door is open. If you have a purchasing question, Charles, I think, was introduced to one of you in the hallway, so we're a very open family,
Marty, is it okay if we video?
yes. As long as I don't have to look at it. I'm happy as long as I don't have to look at it. How many of you have dealt with modulars before? Okay, all right, so a few, almost half. There's a very distinct difference between modular homes and mobile homes, and most of the customers out in the world don't know that or don't understand it. And the quickest, easiest way to explain to a customer the difference is that a mobile home is built to a federal code, the HUD code, and it is the same everywhere in the country. So if you buy a mobile home from a manufacturer in Washington State, or Massachusetts, and Georgia, and Florida, they're all built to the same code. And the local jurisdiction doesn't have any say-so. They can't tell you to move something, to add something, to change something. They have no jurisdiction. The other most noticeable feature is that mobile homes have to be built on a frame, on a chassis. That is actually provides, it's more than just transportation. The engineering of the mobile home is actually where it transfers the load from the top down to the carrier. So you can't remove the frame, it's illegal. Modular homes probably, and no doubt, came from that industry, because the idea of building something inside of a building and then transporting it to a job site makes sense. All your materials are stored inside. All your workers can work 40 hours a week or more, 52 weeks out of the year, whereas if they're site building, they're dealing with weather. And anybody that's built site-built homes knows that today's subcontractors are more difficult to find and more difficult to keep on top of. Materials have a way of walking off the job site. In addition to the labor, you've got material, plus they're framing up in all kinds of weather. So this just makes sense. So we copied that idea of building something in a factory. And then, this is one over there. And then the difference is that modular homes are built to a state code and the local building code. So whatever your wind zone is for wherever your customer's house is going, that's what we're building to. And the program is set up so that manufacturers, when they want to do business somewhere, they go to the governing body for the state that handles that overseas, and in Florida, that's in the Florida Building Commission. We contacted a third-party agency, which several of them are contracted with the states to be their eyes and ears to oversee the modular program. Right now, we use a company called Radco. On commercial projects, we use TRA, which is out of Elkhart, Indiana. We had to have, the first house we built for Florida had to be inspected 100% of the time when it was going down the plant. We had to provide a quality control manual and all of our fastening patterns, everything that said, this is how we're going to build this house when we build it for Florida. They approved it, and then you're off and running. We build in 8 southeastern states, so Florida's not the only one. Florida is our lion's share of business, but as the economy is starting to come back, that's picking up in other areas as well. Where we seem to differ from some of the other manufacturers is we became into existence in a very difficult economic time. 2009 was not a good year to start a modular home company.
Or anything else.
And for several years we kept looking at each other and saying, what were we thinking? I was one of the original ones that came down from Indiana. My first husband and my second husband and myself, we all came down as a big happy family to start this up for the owner. Skip was like 2 months after me, so we're the original turkeys that stayed here and haven't left. Out of the 3 that I mentioned before, I'm the only one that's still working. The rest of them are retired. I don't understand that picture. But what kept us alive, frankly, was back then, most of our business was coming from coastal areas, and a lot of that has always been discretionary income. It's not a person's primary residence. It's usually a vacation home or a rental property or an investment property, and that a lot of times you're dealing with people that have cash or have investments that they're going to cash in and use, and it may be a house that they're going to retire at someday down the road, but that's what kept us alive. And alive is a relative term. You know, it was difficult. It was, as it was for anybody that was in any kind of housing industry.
Amen.
And so as it's gotten better, a lot of those manufacturers went by the wayside. A lot of people that were in business back then, the Precisions and the Adrian Homes and Haven Homes, which was a wonderful high-end manufacturer, they're just gone. The people that are left, we're the only ones in the South that are really building a true mod. In other words, that's the only thing we build is a modular home. We don't build mobile homes on the same production line. We don't build park models. We don't build Hudular, which is a mobile home type production, but it's rated as a modular. It's state code home, but it's on a frame. And that's how they're able to run it down the line. And a lot of people, they think that they do get the flexibility of calling it a mod and having a state code, but they get the inexpense of having it built like a trailer, putting it on a frame. So we're the only ones, really, that are doing this. And then we took another step. The same thing that's kept us in business because of the coastal application is the fact that we were willing to say yes as much as we could instead of saying no. So I hate the word custom, but that's kind of the niche that we've hit. If we can figure out how to get it down the road, how to put it together, and how it has to make sense. Just because you can divide something up into a bunch of modules and put it together and have a modular home doesn't mean it makes sense for you or your customer because of the cost involved in chopping it all up, transporting it, and setting it, and crane costs and all that. So I just want to leave with the thought that if we tell you no, for the most part, we have really put some thought into it because that we're in the business of saying yes. The other thing is we will tell you no if modulars make sense when you do them a certain way. And if you don't do them that way, then you're losing the benefit of doing a modular. And so a lot of times we'll tell you, like somebody said, well, can I leave off this, and can I leave off this, and can I leave off this, and can I leave off that, and just get a shell? And I'm going to say, well, yes, but number one, I'm not going to give you full credit for everything because my guy that installs that siding doesn't punch out and go home because you decided that you wanted to put on your own siding to save some money. So you ruin the effect of having as much done at the factory by asking us to take things out. Now, there'll be times when I will beg you to take things out and have it done on site because we know what we're good at and we know what we're not good at. So, again, this whole thing is about communication. It's about you are building and selling a custom home. There's a lot of details. I'm working on a project right now that I've been pulling my hair out trying to get because I can't get the information I need from the builder. So if we will try our best. We will be the best. It will be the strongest house your customers ever had. We are under a different level of scrutiny than site builders. Because we do have to have every set of plans we have to be approved by the third-party agency and an engineer. All of that has to be done. Very few site builders actually have to take their whole plan pack down and plop it down on the desk to have a permit issued. It's a different process. The inspection process is different. Everything about it is different. But the end result is you have a stronger house, a more well-built house. If there's whoever's the builder in this room, which one is that? There's a contractor.
He's not here.
He's not here?
He's my son.
Okay. Any builders that go through the plant will see two things. They'll see that, first of all, when they see the lumber, their mouth falls open because our lumber is beautiful. It's top quality lumber, and it's not like what a builder will get. And a lot of that is because we buy truckloads. And so we get better lumber, we get better prices. The average street builder cannot buy truckloads. He buys by the job. And so he doesn't get the premium lumber. And the other thing you'll see is how much lumber we use compared to what they're used to doing.
And you don't build any on a frame?
No, we do not. We do not build anything on a frame. That's not to say we wouldn't consider it. It's just, it's outside of our wheelhouse. Frames cost a lot of money, and chances are we're not gonna change our construction just because now we're putting on a frame. So, we have, go ahead.
So you said you build to the wind code of whatever location you're in. Can you go higher than that? Okay. What's the St. Augustine's in a 2, I think. So what would it be if you wanted to upgrade that to like a 3?
I honestly don't know what that term means, because what we use is a wind chart that we have. So we have
Okay.
from 100, we have from 90 mile an hour up to 180 mile an hour. Right now, the
Right.
highest code is 180 mile an hour, and which we build to.
Okay.
And that's in the Keys, and then we also build for Miami-Dade, because we are able to do Miami-Dade and Broward County. We're the only modular company right now that's doing that, because nobody else wants to touch it. But again, it's the same process as what we were doing for the Keys, just different NOAs, different Florida product approvals.
Okay.
So we have a lot of people down in Mexico Beach, for instance. Their code, they're coming back after this hurricane, they're still doing 140. So, but we have a lot of people that are, you know, because we can do it for 180 mile an hour, they're excited about that because they want to exceed. And frankly, there's not a lot of, there's quite a bit of difference between 140 and 150, but there's not a lot of difference between 150 and 180.
Okay.
So if you're already at 150 mile an hour, and I don't know what the area is.
It's 150.
Okay, then it's just a hop, skip, and a jump to go to 180.
Okay.
The biggest thing that will affect you is whether or not you do impact windows or shutters.
Okay.
And because that's a big
I didn't
one.
know that was an option. That's nice.
Yeah, the shutters now have to be done on site, and the inspector has to be able to see. You still have to, if you're doing 150 mile an hour, the DP rating, the design rating that you need for the window, is relatively low, and I have manufacturers that do non-impact windows at that DP rating. But if you say, I want a 180 mile an hour house, I still have to have a high DP rating, whether you have impact or not.
Okay.
That's a challenge, and it's expensive, so you might as well go with impact at that point in time.
I got you. Okay.
But those are pretty much the only things. We do the extra strapping as needed, we do 16-inch on center trusses once you go to 150 mile an hour. So there, we already do those things, and so the only thing that you have control of that costs money are those windows and doors, if they need to be a high DP rating and impact windows, because those are pretty salty.
Okay.
But it is what it is, so.
What are the side walls? Are they 2x8s?
2x6.
2x6. Okay.
2x6.
Okay.
So, we build our own trusses. We're one of the only manufacturers that do that, so it makes us very flexible. We build up to 12-12 roof pitch, and all the way down to a flat roof. I'm working on a flat roof right now, that's why I'm pulling my hair out. I just can't get the answers from the builder, so he wants to put a flat roof up because that's another house. Well, what does the other house look like? Does it have a roof? Does it have a slope roof? How big is, how tall is the sidewall? I mean, we're custom builders, so we're not slapping out numbers. We need to know these answers. I'm gonna let Dan take over, and like I said, I'm here. Anytime you have questions, you're welcome to call. He mentioned, or I don't know if you talked about, we do an open house the second Saturday of every month. We like to have people tell us that they're coming, but I encourage you, if you have somebody coming, to come with them. People that don't have anybody with them when they come for the tours have a tendency to gravitate to any builders that might be here. And we've seen it happen a lot. So it's better to keep your customer under your control, but it is a tremendous resource, because if you get a customer here and they see this, they're sold. It's not a tall leap for them to figure out this is a good way to go. So I'll go get food, because that's my hot button at 12.
Mark, it's great to see you again, and we
It's good
really
to see you
appreciate
too.
this.
I've been bragging on you, I've been telling everybody about your wonderful ideas, and
Oh, my goodness.
so you have a big reputation to live up to, and you're gonna have to explain it to
Well,
Dan.
I don't know what they are, but anyway.
What's the,
One of the things we wanted to do, and I invited, these ladies are with the Academy Mortgage, and they do most of our in-loans, okay? So they do a great job, and we do all of the programs, we do FHA, NBA, any grant programs or anything else that comes. They keep us up to date all the time. So what we are going to do next week is have a meeting with them and design a marketing program wrapped around the financing that they can provide for our end customers. Don Sutton here is one of our investors, and we do a lot of business with them. We buy and fix and sell a lot too. But we got some lots, and we want to do the modular program. Right? We also buy brand new mobile homes. We do that just because of the cost effectiveness, you know. And so we're trying to offer affordable housing. And then Jim Johnson has been setting some up for y'all. He's a good guy. I'm glad that here y'all are associated with him because we think he's an honest, good man. You know? And so I talked to him about it, and he'll probably be setting them up for us if that, you know, works for everybody. And so he knows how to do it, and as I say, we're friends. We trust his judgment. And so,
Yeah, he did our house when we just did over in Sanibel.
yeah.
Great job. Great crew.
We just went and saw one they set up, when they were setting it up right on A1A in St. Augustine and St. Augustine Beach, and they were setting it up 2 stories, you know, and they said, and I saw one that they set up on top of the pilings, 2 stories on top of the pilings, so actually it was a 3-story building, you know. So we're anxious to learn, and we don't know much, frankly, about products, not builders, but we're gonna learn. All right,
Good.
Dan, we appreciate the opportunity to work with you.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Did you have a question?
oh, I wasn't familiar, you mentioned it, DP rating?
Design pressure.
Oh, design.
Design pressure, how much pressure it takes to push the window in or pull the window out. You know, you'll always seen the warnings about tornadoes, go open up your windows to change the pressure in the house. You know, I don't know if that tornado's gonna get you, it's gonna get you, but
Yeah.
at least the windows be open.
Yep.
Whatever that means. So, yeah, there's again,
Okay.
when I talked about having to build for coastal areas, we had to learn a whole new language. I came down from Indiana, so I was all about snow load on the roof, you know. I didn't know anything about all this other stuff, so.
At least we don't want you to get into snow load.
That's true, we don't have to worry about that, so, all right, well, I'll be back in. Oh, I'm
We
sorry.
came in late, can we get,
This is pretty much all we
oh,
have.
okay.
Yeah,
But
we're in
look at
we're in
that?
the process of revamping those, adding, subtracting, so this is actually the last remaining few until we get those from the printer.
And then I wanted to every single thing that's in this book is on our website and can be downloaded as a PDF.
Oh, okay.
So if you wanted to print your own, that's actually,
Perfect.
you know,
Everybody
there
gives
it
us one
is.
of your cards.
I just happen to have some.
You can just pass them.
Yeah, there you go. When you're all done. If you run out, let me know.
How about video?
The video is on the website
Yeah.
and it's on YouTube. So all you have to do, but I don't have any CDs.
Okay. And how about joint marketing efforts? Just plant the seed.
Well, it depends on what you mean. If you mean by dollar signs when you say
Yeah,
joint,
yeah.
we'll talk about it.
All right, okay, just want to plant the seed.
Uh-huh. Consider it planted. I don't know if I'll be watering it anytime soon.
I'll order it. Just need a fertilizer now, we're good to go.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
Alright, so, if you want, we can go take a walk outside the plant and kind of go from start to finish and explain the process and answer any questions. So what we need to do is get some vests and safety glasses here. Slide here behind y'all.